everybody, Aficionados Muppet here, and well, as you can see, Aficionados Chris is not doing anything for this sketch, as it were. He wanted to do something really creative, but he ran out of money. So instead, he's going to do a tribute to Mystery Science Theater 3000's Godzilla vs. Megalon episode by playing the Jet Jaguar theme song. I'd say follow the bouncy ball, but we don't have one. So, for your viewing pleasure, here's the translated version of the Jet Jaguar theme song. Huh, you kinda do smile like Jack Nickel. Oh, you're back already? What happened? Oh, well apparently we couldn't afford to play the entire clip. So, well, here's the review for the latest Godzilla catalog releases on Blu-ray.
Beaver cap and his checkered tie. Let's see what he has to say. What's he got for us this time? They're probably Blu-rays.
Aficionados Chris.
It's a guilty pleasure.
Aficionados Chris.
In the common measure.
Aficionados
Shine the lights, shoot the camera, smile for the world in panoramas. He likes to impersonate walk-on.
Hey everybody, Aficionados Chris here, and today I'm going to be talking about some really awesome Godzilla catalog titles that have been released on Blu-ray from both Sony Pictures and Media Blasters, and I'm sure a lot of Godzilla fans probably have an idea of which ones I'm talking about, but for all those who are clueless, the titles I'm going to be talking about today are from Sony: Godzilla 2000, one of the first Godzilla theatrical films that I ever saw. The double feature of Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters All-Out Attack, also abbreviated as GMK, as well as Godzilla against MechaGodzilla from the Millennium era. And finally, even though it's not a Godzilla movie, it is definitely worth mentioning and picking up, the Rebirth of Mothra Trilogy. And finally, from Media Blasters, we have two of the most highly anticipated releases on Blu-ray: Godzilla vs. Megalon, as well as my all-time favorite Godzilla movie, Godzilla Destroy All Monsters. The first ones I'm going to talk about are the Sony releases. Now these ones you can find anywhere. In fact, I've seen these at Walmart for relatively low prices, about 11 bucks a piece, so I recommend if you're looking for Godzilla on Blu-ray, these ones are not so hard to find. But I can't say the same about the Media Blasters ones, but we'll get to those a little later. Now first, let's talk about Godzilla 2000. And like I said, this was one of the first Godzilla theatrical releases that I was aware of. I didn't actually get to see it in theaters when it was in theaters. But Godzilla 2000 I did get to see as my very first pay-per-view experience. Godzilla 2000 was made basically because America screwed up back in 1998 trying to make a Godzilla movie, and Toho was, well, in a nutshell, they were kind of offended, and to basically fix the mistakes that Sony made, coincidentally it's the same distributor in America, they decided to make Godzilla 2000 and start making new Godzilla movies again to sort of patch up the mistake that Sony Pictures did a long time ago. Now, I really enjoy Godzilla 2000, and I'm not sure what the general consensus is of it. I think it's a good Godzilla movie. It's tons of fun. I mean, it is the movie that starts the Millennium series, so I guess you really have to respect it, because it starts off the new era where a lot of great Godzilla movies came from. But the cool thing about this Blu-ray is that it actually includes both the US and Japanese cuts of the movie. Now, I actually never saw the Japanese cut of the movie. Both cuts are perfectly fine. I mean, I obviously prefer the United States cut because, well, that's the one I grew up with, and that's the one that I have a lot of nostalgia for. But the Japanese cut is also very good, especially if you're, you know, sort of a Godzilla completist and you want to have all the films in their original language, then this is definitely worth picking up. And it does have a couple bonus features, which include a commentary, some behind-the-scenes featurettes, and of course the original trailer. I think that's basically all you need for a Godzilla release. With the exception of the original 54 movie and of course the brand new movie, you're not going to get tons of bonus features. It's not really a series that's going to get, like, you know, packed with thousands of hours of bonus features. What you get, I think, is the best you're ever going to receive, and I think a commentary, a behind-the-scenes feature, and a trailer is about the best you should get and should accept it. And overall, it's a good release. The picture audio quality is decent. It probably could look a little better, but again, considering this is Godzilla, I don't expect them to, like, go out and find the original, like, Toho film negatives and do a 4K restoration. You know, these are catalog titles. They're just going to be put on Blu-ray. Honestly, it could be worse. They could have just been DVD upscales, but to my eyes, they don't look that bad. They look decent. They look about as good as I think they can look, at least with the American cuts that they have. But overall, I think it's a good release. Good bonus features, good picture and audio quality, and just a fun Godzilla movie that everyone should enjoy. Let's talk about the only double feature in this collection, GMK and Godzilla against MechaGodzilla. Now, personally, of the two in this set, my favorite is GMK because, well, I'm kind of a sucker for all-out monster brawls. I mean, like I said earlier, Destroy All Monsters is my favorite Godzilla movie for that very reason, and Final Wars is actually right under that. So I've always been a big fan of all the monsters, or at least a collection of monsters duking it out with each other. It's 2 movies on Blu-ray, but thankfully for a lot of people, they're on 2 separate Blu-ray discs, so they're not, cramming them on Blu-ray. So don't worry about any bit rates being lowered or the picture and audio quality not being great, because picture and audio quality is perfectly fine with these releases. I didn't really see anything that looked too bad, but again, like I said, they're Godzilla catalog titles. I don't expect amazing, groundbreaking picture quality. You're gonna get what you're gonna get for these titles. However, unlike Godzilla 2000, these don't have a lot of bonus features. They just have the trailers for both these films. I didn't expect a whole lot, but for me, I only wanted this just so I can have the movies on Blu-ray. I think they're perfectly good upgrades from the old DVDs that Sony put out a long time ago, and just nice to have in my Godzilla Blu-ray collection, which is always growing because they keep releasing more on Blu-ray. And finally, from Sony, we have the only non-Godzilla movie in the collection, but this is a big groundbreaking thing for a lot of Toho fans like myself, the Rebirth of Mothra Trilogy. Now I say trilogy because a lot of people who probably know about this are maybe scratching their heads going, trilogy? Aren't there only 2 movies? Well, in America for a while, yes, there were only 2 movies, at least on home video. They all aired on television. In fact, HBO I believe they aired on, but I wasn't didn't have a cable provider at the time, so I wasn't able to see them. I had them on bootlegs, of course. But this is the very first time that the 3rd movie has ever been released on home video in North America. And what better way? In high definition, no less. So I guess it was worth the wait. So you've got the entire trilogy on Blu-ray. Now, of course, because it's a trilogy, that means they had to sort of spare it, which is Rebirth of Mothra is on its own disc, whereas parts 2 and 3 are crammed together on one disc. Picture and audio quality for all 3 of these movies looks absolutely fine. I didn't really notice any imperfections with the last 2 movies. Really, I was just amazed to see the 3rd movie on home video in North America at all, so maybe I was blinded by the fact that I could see this movie for the very first time and in high definition, but to my eyes, it looked perfectly fine. And again, much like the double feature of GMK and Against MechaGodzilla, this has really no bonus features, just the original trailers, but in this case, again, I only wanted this because I wanted these movies in my collection, and I'm just really happy that Part 3 is finally available in North America on home video. Really, I recommend this one especially to all Toho fans because, like I said, it's the first time the entire trilogy has been released in North America, and in one collected set, and on high-definition Blu-ray. I don't think you can get any better than that. Picture and audio quality is perfectly fine. There's not a lot of bonus features, but like I said, I don't think you really buy Godzilla for bonus features. I buy for the movies, because to me, the movie is enough, and that's really all I have to say about this release. And finally, we come to the products, which I guess are slightly controversial considering who you hear from. That would be Destroy All Monsters and Godzilla vs. Megalon, both of these from Media Blasters. First, let's talk about Godzilla vs. Megalon because, well, there's a lot of history with this release. As I've collected with my personal knowledge and research, Godzilla vs. Megalon was released on DVD back in 2011 or 12, somewhere around there. But the Blu-ray for Megalon was announced back then, but was recalled for various reasons. I believe for copyright reasons with Toho. I think what happened is that Godzilla vs. Megalon was believed to be in the public domain in America, so Toho yanked their release and they weren't allowed to release it until they settled the copyright issues with Toho. So that's what took so long for these Blu-rays, and they are now finally available. At least in this case, Godzilla vs. Megalon is available for the first time on Blu-ray, and for a long time it was not available on DVD for many years until a couple of years ago, but the cool thing is that it's now available on Blu-ray. Now, Media Blasters is not a company that's really known for high-quality production as far as their packaging. This is a very cheap Blu-ray case, but I mean, I've seen a lot flimsier cases released from time to time. In fact, Mill Creek, when they first started out with Blu-ray, had some very flimsy cases, but I think compared to that, this Blu-ray case is at least decent. As long as you don't like throw it around or toss it, it probably won't break, but I don't know, it's not like a kind of Blu-ray case where you could blow on and the whole thing will shatter. It's perfectly fine. There's no bonus features on this Blu-ray, and that's for copyright reasons, as I've come to understand. I believe the DVD of Megalon had some bonus features, but that DVD has since been recalled, so it's really hard to find and is fetching collector's prices. But if you are really set upon getting bonus features with Megalon, you can certainly seek out that DVD. In fact, my good friend Tyler Preston20 has a video on the subject matter. You can click the video link in the description below, all about that. He can basically tell you where you can get that DVD. He knows more about this than I do. But really, like I said, with all these Godzilla releases, I cared more about having the films on Blu-ray, not about bonus features. I couldn't care less. So it's really just about having the film, and it looks good. I think the picture and audio quality for this movie is very good. Considering the type of movie it is, this is a very, very low budget. In fact, this was one of the most low-budget Godzilla movies at the time. In fact, I think it's one of the most critically panned. There's a lot of Godzilla films that either love it or hate it for one reason or another. I adore it, and there's a side of me that kind of wishes that if there was one bonus feature, I wish this Blu-ray came with the Mystery Science Theater 3000 episode of Godzilla vs. Megalon, because that's one of my favorite episodes of MST3K. It's a bit of a bummer. I know there's probably a rights issue, like they probably couldn't get the episode from Shout Factory or something, but I don't know the whole story. It's not really here nor there. It would have been a nice feature though, but hey, you know, that's what the internet's for, I suppose. And finally, we come to my all-time favorite Godzilla movie, Destroy All Monsters. Now, this was actually released on Blu-ray a very long time ago. I believe back in 2009 or 2010. I'm probably wrong about that. Again, this information is very fuzzy with me, but the most important thing is that it is available again on Blu-ray, and I'm very happy because, like I said, it's my favorite Godzilla movie, and I've always wanted to own this Blu-ray since it first came out, and it was recalled for the very same reasons that Megalon was recalled, copyright issues with Toho. And as memory serves, I think the original release also had bonus features, which of course this one has none. And much like Megalon, the picture audio quality I think is very good considering the type of movie it is. The colors pop on this Blu-ray transfer, and I think they should considering this is a movie from the 1960s where, you know, teetering into the 70s, color was a very big deal on film. I think it looks the best this is probably ever going to look, and considering that the film is owned by Media Blasters of all companies, this is probably the best they're ever going to put out as far as this film. Now, the one thing I should mention about both of these is I've read rumors that both films have a very limited run, about 5,000 copies for both of them. So if you're one of those people that's like, I'll get them eventually, I wouldn't procrastinate if I were you. You can get both of these as a bundle on eBay for $29.99. I highly recommend you do that because once these are gone, they're gone. If you're a big Godzilla fan and are trying to collect all the movies on Blu-ray, I recommend that you buy these ones first and then pick up the Sony releases later because those are going to be here to stay, and you can find those at Walmart and Best Buy for 11 bucks a piece. So if you're a Godzilla collector, I highly recommend you put these on your top priority list because, well, they're going to be gone faster than you know. That's really all I have to say about the brand new Sony catalog releases of some Godzilla movies, which also include the Rebirth of Mothra trilogy, as well as Media Blasters' highly anticipated releases of Megalon and Destroy All Monsters on Blu-ray. I recommend them to all Toho and Godzilla fans, and like I said, you should probably get the Media Blasters releases first, because once they're gone, they're gone. I can't emphasize that enough. They're going to be very rare, hard to find collector's items that are going to go for tons of money like they did originally when they first went out of print. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and please have a wonderful day. Goodbye.
Congratulations! You just finished my video. Pat yourself on the back. After you're done doing that, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you'd like to support my future videos, you can donate to my Patreon page. You can donate as little as $1 and cancel anytime. Everyone who donates gets their names at the end of the credits of every video, just like these awesome patrons. If you'd like updates on future projects, you can like my Facebook page and follow me on Twitter. You're still watching? Well, here's a prize. You can watch some of my previous videos by clicking the annotations here.